Well, good morning, Nat.Geo. Wild morning from dawn in South Africa. We are following a gorgeous young female leopard. My name is Brent Leo Smith. I have my excellent cameraman and good friend Brian Joubert, of course, with his hard-working thumb. Brian and Brent together are called the Killer Bees, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this incredibly wonderful sighting of this little female leopard. Let me just move the car a bit. And remember, this is 100% live from South Africa in the Greater Kruger National Park. 8.5 million acres of unfenced, untrammeled wilderness set aside for these gorgeous creatures. Now, for those of you who have been following Safari Live on Nat.Geo Wild on Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is Xongile, a member of the royal family. Now, we call them the royal family. Her mother is known as the Queen of Djuma, and that's the reserve we're on at the moment, Djuma Private Game Reserve. And so she's, of course, then the princess. She's just over a year old, and her mom is out and about hunting for her. So she's doing a bit of playing and hunting for herself. I'm quite sure her brother is somewhere about not too far away, but we haven't seen him yet. So you never know what's going to happen while you're live. So he could arrive, she could catch a bird, she could catch a squirrel. It is always wonderful to spend time with leopards of this age. They are very, very active, especially when mom's away hunting. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Ambar says they are so beautiful. Indeed they are, and I think she's spectacularly beautiful. And her name, Xongile, actually means exceptionally beautiful, and that she is. So when young leopards are left by their mothers, they often will stalk around, try catch lizards, birds. Now, Five is wondering, aren't they night animals? Don't they sleep all day and move around at night? Well, they sleep a lot of the day, about 18 hours in total, but they are most active in the hour or so before dawn and the hour or so after dawn. And if it's cool, they can be active much longer. One must realize in an area like this where they have no threats from human beings, they can be active whenever they want. So it isn't unusual to see a leopard during the day in this part of South Africa. Morning, Rye. Rye would like to know, how long will a female leopard keep feeding her youngsters? Well, it all depends on the individual, right? There is no set rule for any of that stuff out here. And normally the little females like this will become independent at, oh, there's lots of holes here, at a much younger age, so around 16 to 18 months. The males tend to stay with mom a lot longer, up to 2.5 years. Now, there is reason for this. So what happens is a female leopard will actually give away a core portion of her territory to her daughter, so she has a better and easier start in life. So the female leopard will extend her territory or move out of a piece of her territory, so her daughter doesn't have to fight with other leopards to start. And so she has a little bit easier start in life, so they normally become independent of their mothers a little bit younger. Now, young male leopards, it's the complete opposite. So they stay with their mother longer to get bigger and stronger, because they've got it really tough. Oh, she's just playing, jumping up and down. So when I say she's got it really tough, what's going to happen is when the young male at about 2.5, 3 years old stops being dependent on his mother, he now will be chased by the dominant male in the area, and he can sometimes move over 100 miles, oh, big jump, away from where he was born. Now, the reason that males have to move so far is to ensure they don't mate with their sisters or aunts or even mothers, because the female leopard territories are almost like dynasties that are handed down from mother to daughter. So the female leopard's genetics in an area are always going to be quite close, whereas the males will not be. So the males are not because they move, and that's to keep genetic variation amongst these cats. Now, I'm hoping her little brother makes an appearance, or her big brother. They're the same age, but he is much bigger than her already. Hello, Lisa. Lisa is wondering, is it true that all leopards have a unique spot pattern? Indeed, they do. Each individual leopard has a completely unique series of spots all over its body. But how we generally identify them, well, with leopards we know very well, like this one, and we can actually just almost see it immediately. But with other leopards that we don't see that often, there's a very specific line of spots that we look at, and it is the last line of spots above the whiskers, and that is the almost it is as unique as a fingerprint. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, there's a nice piece of grass. If we have a look, it's these ones here. So there we go. Whoopsie, my hat's in the way. So these, see, there's the last line of whiskers. They're the spots. So you can see on her right hand side she's a 4, and on her left hand side she's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's her fingerprint. Oh, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Gates says she is stunning. How big is she? Oh, trying to think of a nice comparison. She's about the size of a medium to large dog. She only weighs about 60 pounds, 65 pounds, and probably stands about 1.5 feet at the shoulder. Wait, she's right behind us. Okay, there we go. She's gone past. But isn't this absolutely amazing? Live from the African bush, following a female leopard. Now, Carrie would like to know, are their tails as long as their torsos? Now, well, let's have a look. Now, you can see, normally the tail is actually a little bit longer than their body if you take off their head. So, yes, I'd say almost as long, or if not longer in certain circumstances. Now, like all creatures, some leopards have longer tails than the others. Okay, let's get around. Now, we are coming towards close to the end of this live broadcast from South Africa. But if you are enjoying it and you want to keep following, you can just pop onto the website WildSafariLive.com. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying with this leopard for the next couple of hours. We've got another vehicle that's out looking for lions, and we've got a drone to show you what Africa looks like from the sky. And there's also Steph, who's marching about on foot, and James, who's in our live museum. Now, hopefully you will join us. Remember the website www.wildsafariLive.com. Where did the little leopard go? Do you see her, Brian? Oh, there she is. And also remember, Sunday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on Nat.Geo Wild for your 2-hour live safari if you are in the United States. Hello, Carla. We've got time for one more question. Carla would like to know, how often does she have to hunt? Normally, leopards have to eat every 2 or 3 days. They can go as long as 10 or 12 days without food, but they will hunt almost every day. It doesn't mean they're successful. Now, if you want to find out more, Carla, and ask more questions, remember WildSafariLive.com, or join us at 11 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on Nat.Geo Wild in the US of A. From myself, Brent, and Brian the Killer Bees, hopefully we will see you soon.